Ladies, gentlemen, boys, and girls, welcome to the Paperclip. My name is Hunter Foley, as always, up here with my broadcast partner, Jonathan Smith, and we over here at Knapp Daddy Racing are so excited to be bringing you tonight's running of the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series here at Martinsville. It is sure to be an absolute wild show. Martinsville is always known to put on a great time, especially with these guys out here on the track. So I know we are excited, but first things first, before we get this thing rolling and underway, I want to give a huge shout out to our series sponsor. This is the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. So huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for making sure that we can put on a great show for these guys, that we can be up here in the booth and that these guys can be get a little something for their efforts out there on the track. Sunbelt Rentals is the place to go for all of your construction equipment needs. I myself have been in the construction industry for about the last 4 years, and anytime I've had to deal with Sunbelt Rentals, I've never been treated with anything but absolute professionalism, respect, and a true understanding of their product. If you have any sort of construction equipment needs, anywhere from just your residential smaller job all the way up to commercial industrial work, be sure to check out Sunbelt Rentals. I'm sure that they will do a great job taking care of you. And then we are also up here again, myself and John make up Knapp Daddy Racing. We are so excited to be the broadcast partner for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Be sure to check us out over on our website at knappdaddyracing.com. Originally started as a iRacing design shop, we've expanded to try to be your one-stop shop for all of your iRacing needs. Any sort of custom design, template, logo, as well as some free content we have up on the site as well. And if you're not into iRacing yourself, be sure to grab a t-shirt or a hat and support the boys over here at KDR. Be sure to always like and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a second of the action for any of our uploads, and you're home for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. And check us out over on TikTok. We get live as often as we can. Make sure that you're also in the comments shouting out your favorite drivers. As last week was a testament, Frank Marchese has an absolute cheering crowd in the comments. I see Forge Val here for the Italian. Let's go, Frank. Can we get a dedicated Marchese cam? Rename the series Tour of Italy. Evening, everyone. Shasta Jewel also wishing everyone good luck and a good evening. But let me quit talking. Let me kick it over to my broadcast partner, John Smith.
I do. How are you guys? I'm doing good. Yeah, my friends who would probably replace any enemy that I could ever have. Yeah, they're having they're having some fun at my expense, but I appreciate it. I know it's all out of love, so I appreciate every little ounce of support that I can get.
Yeah, sorry, I think I was having some mic issues there to begin with. We were just talking about your fan club out here in the YouTube comments. I don't want to keep you too long before qualifying starts. You had a great run last week, ran into a little bit of trouble. Obviously, Martinsville is just a little bit different. What's your plan of attack for tonight?
Live. I think that's the biggest thing. A lot of people are going to have a lot of different breaking points. You got to really be patient. You got to let the car roll a lot through these corners, otherwise it just goes straight on. But yeah, there's a lot of things that I think play to my personal strengths as a driver here. And last week was very unfortunate, but I think we have a little something for him this week.
We love to hear it. Looking forward to see what you do out there. I'm going to let you go and get back to qualifying. Good luck to you tonight.
Thank you. Have a good broadcast, guys.
Take care.
That was Frank Marchese, and I hope I said that right. I didn't have enough time to ask him if I was pronouncing it right. I think somebody in the comments last week gave us a pronunciation, so we definitely appreciate that. Wanted to make sure we get Frank up here. I know he's got a big support group out there in the comments, so trying to hurry up and get him in, but I don't want to take up too much of his qualifying time as these guys start to hit the track here. Looking at your winner last week, Ryan Moyer, who put on an absolute show there in the final laps, just kind of driving away with it. Wasn't much that people had for them, but looking to capitalize and get another win here tonight. Martinsville going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be interesting to see the change up from last week and see these guys over here at Martinsville. Martinsville's tough for anybody. I know we've talked a lot about how the guys in this league have a ton of talent and really seem to know how to drive these things, but Martinsville's going to be a test for everybody. I'm going to be really curious to see how the cautions end up coming out. I know we've got some plans in place if there's too much beating and banging out there, but I think it's sure to be a really fun night.
Yeah, the admins have went ahead and announced that back-to-back cautions will have a single file restart this week, just to kind of save some of the trouble that might come up in case there's multiple cautions. I know we have broadcasted other leagues here in the past that have had a few cautions. By a few, I mean about a couple dozen. But hopefully it doesn't happen tonight. It just really starts out with people understanding everybody has a different break point. There's different ways people are going to go about this track. So you really just got to be patient. Got to make it to the end to make it there, to win the race.
100%. And I think it's going to be really interesting. We've seen all these guys kind of talk about their different strategies and what tracks they're good at. It's going to be super, super interesting. Got Nathan Fox in the comments saying, hello, everyone. Let's try to have a clean race. It is Martinsville. Go 35. Go Bontrager. I believe Nathan Fox is Bontrager's spotter. So cool to have him in the chat here with us. But I'm just kind of going back to some of the races that we've seen before. We've seen both of the McCulloughs, Christopher and Kenneth, be super, super fast, especially at the super speedway tracks. So again, I'm super interested to see if they can translate those skills over to one of the shortest tracks. Cody Bullock had a rocket ship this year so far. Saw him pull one of the better passes I think I've ever seen in iRacing last week when he was on his come from behind mission. And then you got some other guys in here who just have run into some bad luck this year, man. But we know they're fast.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of some of the things you need to watch out for this race, pull up our keys to the race here, see what we got going on. I think the main thing that you're going to have to focus on tonight more than any other track is definitely going to be track position. There is going to be cautions. There's going to be a few cautions. There might be more than a few cautions, but you want to make sure you're in front of that wreck when it does happen. Keep the car clean, keep the nose clean. The second one I got for you is going to be protect the inside line. You're not going to see a lot of passes on this outside line here. A lot of it's going to be on the inside, so the better that leader is able to protect his inside, the better chances he have of holding on to that lead and pushing forward. The last one is really just stay out of trouble. It kind of goes on to the first point, but it's such a big deal here, especially in the iRacing sim, that these cars are just a little bit more loose, a little tap, even netcode can kind of send you into the wall. Some of these cars are kind of made with glass. You want to keep it clean, stay out of trouble, make sure you make it to the end and give yourself a chance to pick up that checker flag.
Yeah, and I think that's going to be the key there, is just giving yourself a fighting chance to be there at the end. And that's going to be huge. I also think your second point's going to be interesting to watch. So often we'll see people who have cars that can run fast on that outside lane. Maybe they qualified it, maybe they practiced it, whatever the case may be. 9 times out of 10, when you actually get out there on the track, the outside lane is not going to do anything for you. You'll see somebody try to hang on to it. They think they have a run, and then everyone's just going to pile up behind you. And especially here at Martinsville, that's a really quick way to lose about 4 positions.
Yeah, for sure. This is just a really tough track to kind of manage. I mean, you see these guys on TV and everything. It's a little bit different. This is where I think the sim is a little bit different, because those cars can kind of take a little bit more beating and banging, and it's easier to control. With these sims, everybody has different force feedbacks. Everybody has a little bit different of a setup for what they're allowed in here, and it could make the car just a little bit more loose in how it handles and everything. So just really got to keep, that's priority number one. I think somebody in the chat said it the best. Objective is survive. Yeah, you got to make it to the end. Like, that's, if you can just make it there and just 5-10 laps of a fighting shot, you could definitely walk away with a win here tonight.
100%. And it looks like we do have the qualifying times done, so we will be working our way over to get that lined up for you. I believe we're doing 200 laps here tonight at Martinsville, so depending on our cautions, should go by pretty quickly. With the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series, they will be doing two kind of what's the word I'm searching for? Stages. There we go. Don't know why I couldn't remember that one. They do 2 stages. The winner at each of those stages will get some bonus points. And they do a traditional stage system, just like in NASCAR, where you do bring it down pit road for the stage ending.
Yeah, some different things tonight that I've noted here is that tonight we will actually have race control that is not going to be in race. That will be throwing manual cautions. So they will be able to look out for cautions and hopefully call them a little bit earlier. Martinsville is one of those tracks where a wreck can be hidden. Like say you're coming out of turn 2, you might not see the accident coming out of 2 because you're A-posts in your car, unless you have a spotter that's just spot on. But luckily there's going to be cautions thrown manually here tonight. So hopefully that'll prevent any wrecks that shouldn't happen past a wreck. There is 65% fuel limit. I'm not sure what that will get them or how many laps that will get them, but I feel like this might be a one-stop race. But this is going to be a track where your tires are probably going to give out faster than your fuel tank will. And one fast repair tonight too.
And that's going to be huge. I know in a lot of the other leagues we've broadcasted for, they don't do a fast repair for short tracks. I think that's going to be super interesting to see how that plays out at Martinsville, because it's going to be a strategy. I mean, your car is going to get damaged. That's pretty much just a period, end of sentence for here at Martinsville. But knowing that strategy and knowing when you are able to or when you can use that fast repair, I think is going to be huge in who's able to actually bring this thing home.
Yeah, while we're still sitting here in qualifying, I want to go ahead and bring up the point standings that we're currently in right now. And you'll have to forgive me, I might not be able to read this far away, but we'll give it our best shot here. First place, you have Ryan Moyer after picking up his win last week. It's going to move him all the way up to the top spot. Chris McCullough is in second place right now, followed by his teammate Kenneth McCullough Jr. Behind him, Aiden Wilson, our Canadian friend out here, has some really good runs. Ran into a little bit of trouble last week, but looking for a good bounce back. It's been strong runs every week. George Jewell is going to be in 5th from the RER race team. Cody Bullock in 6th. And he's going to have the same amount of points, actually, as George Jewell. 7th, we got Simon Grills. 8th is Jake Euler. 9th is Greg McConey. And 10th is James Murrow. And that is your top 10 for now. The top 12 will be able to advance, working on trying to get the top 12 on a list here somewhere in the future. Just still working on putting that together. But for now, this is your top 10. These guys are safe and in the playoffs for now, but anything can definitely change in a second here.
Absolutely. And I do believe when I was looking earlier, I don't believe that James Murrill is able to run the race. I believe he was having some internet issues. So hoping he gets that fixed and gets right back out here with us. It's been fun to see him out there this year so far. Also got Colin Bontrager in the chat saying, let's go Craig, number 35. Definitely looking for Craig to have a good run here tonight. I know he's kind of run into a little bit of trouble the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, me too. Craig's due, if anybody's due. Like, he's just been bad luck after bad luck. And he's just kind of followed him around and chases him down on the track, and eventually catches up with him about 3 times a race, it seems like. And the accidents aren't ever his fault. This just happens to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. But hopefully he's having a bounce back week. I know it's really tough to have a bounce back week here at Martinsville, but hopefully this is good for him.
I believe they are getting them gridded up on the track right now, so we will be able to get you your line up for this race here at Martinsville. I'm excited, man. Martinsville is sure to be putting on a show. I'm also super, super interested in, I'm currently looking at the qualifying standings. Really interesting to see how that came out.
Yeah, I'm going to actually flash it up here right now if you want to give us the old rundown on the qualifying, who's going to be starting where tonight as we start to grid up.
I can definitely do that. I do got Rusty Rafferty in the chat also saying, let's go RER, pull up that RER race team. Starting in first place tonight, you are going to have the number 98 of Jamie Horn. He is a newcomer to the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. He is not a newcomer to iRacing or to us. Jamie's a friend of ours from some other leagues that we are involved with. No, he is very, very talented. So got himself the pole position here tonight. Behind him, he's got Christopher McCullough in the 4-car. Ryan Moyer, your winner last week, is going to be starting in 3rd place. Jake Euler in 4th. Aiden James Wilson in 5th. Jacob Hutnick in 6th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. in 7th. James Fox II in 8th. Cody Bullock, one of the admins for the Sunbelt Cup Series, in 9th. Tyler Justice, 10. George Jewell, 11. Simon Grills, 12. Greg McConey, 13. And Chris Otto, 14. I believe that's all of the drivers that we had put down a qualifying time, but we do have several others out there on the track. We got Craig Bontrager in 15th. Frank Marchese in 16th. Brandon Trush in 17th. Jay Vaught in 18th. And Joe Hutchings is going to be 19th.
Yeah, I remember seeing Bontrager had a little bit of a spin coming in his qualifying, so he might have caught some damage, which will delete his qualifying time. So he's going to be starting at the back. I also see Frank Marchese. We just talked to him through an interview. He might have had some trouble in qualifying as well, so he's going to start at the back. No harm, no foul here. 200 laps of racing. Lots of time to catch up. Just, the whole thing, we said it again and again. Gotta stay out of trouble.
Gotta stay out of trouble. And you got to make sure that you don't burn it up.
Yeah, for sure, because you can definitely whip this wheel around here too much, and sometimes you can even catch that little inside bumper and cause your car to spin, but hopefully not. Pace car is coming around one more time. Lights are off, so he will be coming in this time. We will be going green. I'm going to let you have the whole boogity, boogity, boogity if you want it.
Oh, I'd love to.
Let's go ahead and make our picks real quick while we're here and before the actual first lap is turned.
Tell you what, I don't normally do it, but I'm going to take our pole winner. I think Jamie Horn. I think Jamie's really fast, and he's normally very good at Martinsville, so I think Jamie's going to find a way to get it done.
That's a good pick. I'm going to go with Aiden Wilson starting in P6 tonight. As we're coming around here to the green flag.
We are green flag. Here we go. Jamie Horn off to a great start. Oh, and the 4-car up into the wall. Got loose coming in.
He's going to fall back.
Christopher McCullough.
All the way to the back. Looks like he's going to take pit road here early.
Wonder if something went wrong there.
Might just be a instance of cold tires.
It's a little bit of a slip there. Jamie Horn built himself out to a good lead right now. Greg McConey in the wall as well. And he's now at the back of the pack.
I see some damage on his left front there. I didn't see how he hit the wall, did you?
I didn't. I heard something over the radio and I went and checked.
I mean, Jamie Horn's just kind of throwing it out there, hoping to get some nice clean laps down.
Yeah, he's doing a great, and you can see him. He's hugging that inside lane, diving it out all the way to the top of the wall, and then getting right back down there to the bottom. And he looks comfy right now.
And I mean, this is kind of like smart here. What everybody's doing is Cody Bullett's kind of high right there, scraping the wall, and somebody behind him, I believe that's Bontrager in the 35. I mean, we're all kind of spaced out, but you don't want to be roughing it too much right now. Somebody else is down there. I believe that's Aiden Wilson. No, that's the 7-car behind him, Jake Euler.
Jamie Horn built himself out to about a 2-second lead. And you got to remember here at Martinsville especially, it's only about 14 seconds or so before you're lapping people. So looks like Christopher McCullough already going to be a couple laps down. I know he came down pit road. And then Greg McConey is about 11 seconds behind. So he's going to be the first car that's in danger there. Ryan Moyer is now in second place, about 2.5 seconds back of Jamie Horn. Jacob Hutnick about 3.6 seconds. Kenneth McCullough Jr. is in fourth, 4.1 seconds, and James Fox the second in fifth, about 4.5 seconds back right now.
Everybody's getting kind of spaced out, and this is good for a lot of green flag laps here. And good for a driver, too. You can just pick them off one at a time instead of trying to pass big groups of people and causing some accidents.
Yeah, it's when you start trying to make those big group passes that things start to usually get a little hairy here at Martinsville. I see Golf McLaren in the chat saying, "Let's go pace car." Rooting for a caution-filled race, I guess.
I mean, when we were here a few weeks ago with another league, I think the pace car led the most amount of laps that race. So
he had to have 24 cautions in that race.
Yeah, congrats to the pace car for just getting out there and doing what he practiced, putting it down, you know, letting it all come to fruition.
Yeah, but it looks like everyone right now is just kind of trying to find their line and just figure out how they can work their way up to the front. Closest drivers I believe we have on track right now is Tyler Justice and Cody Bullock, who's going to be your 8th and 9th place. Frank Marchese already worked his way up quite a bit, though, as well. He's come back from 16th and is now in 10th. And you can see him trying to work his way up there to get him next to Cody Bullock.
Yeah, I believe that's going to make him your biggest mover of the race so far. Other people fighting for that position is Brandon Trush in the 23 car back here. You can see those brakes burning up, them rotors coming up.
Starting to light on fire just a little bit. A little bit of fire. No big deal. No one cares.
The thing you got to think about, too, and this is kind of something that a lot of people don't think about, is whenever you're hitting your brakes so much, you're heating up those rotors and making it hot. And yeah, that's kind of messing with your brakes a little bit, but the bigger thing is it's making your tires hotter as well. So you're actually burning more tire by getting on your brakes so hard. And a lot of times you'll see guys before a green flag starts, they'll drag their brake as they're coming around to the green flag, or maybe their pace lap coming to the green flag a little bit. Heats up the rotors, makes the tires a little bit warmer. So just a way you can add some heat into those tires, but too much starts to burn them up early. As you see, Trush gets loose right there.
Yeah, and then that's when you start to spin them out. Nathan Hyde in the comments saying, "Let's go, Frank. Keep putting them down." Already picked up 6 spots. And that is another thing here with the Sunbelt Cup Series. You get bonus points for being the biggest mover. So regardless of whether you're winning the race or not, you still get some bonus points for that. We do have our stage breaks at 50 and 100 here tonight as well. So the bonus points for whoever is in the lead at that point. A couple bonus points on the line for, I believe, the top 10 of anyone. Oh, and the 03 is around Kenneth McCullough Jr.
No caution as of now.
He's trying to get it back going. See if these guys can get it around him. Looks like everyone did.
I'm surprised there's no caution for this. But I'm not complaining. I love a caution-free race. You know, let the boys just go out there and get after it.
And he's got it back up and going. Must not have too much damage.
I mean, Kenneth is fast too. Like, I expect to see him coming back around to the front. You know there is going to be a caution at some point. I do not think this Martinsville race is going to go 200 laps without a caution, but he'll get a caution. He'll get a lap back. You know, I think he'll be back up the front soon.
He is a lap down currently, but he is also the first car a lap down. Christopher McCullough, his teammate, is 4 laps down right now, 1 position behind him in 18th. And then Joe Hutchings, it looks like, did not start. Looked like he did a start and park for tonight.
Well, this is also the thing, too. We talked about this at Bristol with some other racing. And when we go to Bristol, this is the big thing to watch for. But you'll have races at the front of the pack. So we're watching Jamie Horn leading this race right now. Kind of pulling away from it. But this is also going to create a second race out here as well, as we flash over to Simon Grills, who just got past him. Now he is a lap down. Kenneth McCullough Jr. will have to get around Simon Grills to be the first car on a lap down in order to get his lucky dog spot. So watch for Kenneth to try to push it and make sure he gets ahead of Simon, stays right on the tail of Jamie Horn.
And that's a tough spot to be in because you can never just kind of sit. We talk a lot about, especially at these short track races where there usually is a lot of cautions. Sometimes if you get in a comfy spot, you just want to kind of sit there and relax for a little while and just stay out of danger. When you're in those lap down spots, you can't. You have to keep fighting your way up to the front. As you see Jamie Horn there go around Jay Vaught. So now it just reverses it. Now Kenneth McCullough has to catch Simon Grills, who has to catch Jay Vaught, and Jamie Horn, who is looking fast. And there's our first big wreck, it looks like. Right in front of the leader, Jamie Horn.
There it is, Chris Otto. That's going to give Jay Vaught his lap back.
Who else was caught up in that one?
Try to pull up a replay here for you, but in the meantime, let's look at Kenneth McCullough Jr.'s wreck earlier that set him back a lap. Yeah, looks like the car just snapped loose on him. Got a little bit of front end damage, nothing too major, and then we'll go over here to this caution that came out with Chris Otto. May have been the same thing. We've seen a lot of snap loose off of turn 4 here at this track. Yep, same thing.
Yeah, just that. Maybe you heated them up just a little bit too much, and then when you try to straighten it back out coming out of that corner, your car just doesn't want to get straight. It's just going to keep spinning on you. And it looks like he caught up the 0-4 there a little bit of Christopher McCullough.
That's a terrible feeling when that starts happening.
Yeah, because at that point, I mean, there's just nothing you can do. And you can kind of see it here. Having to turn that wheel, car's not wanting to go, and then you just snap it.
Yeah, and there's a little bit to do with the setup too, which we were running fixed setups here. These are set by the admin every single week and distributed to the drivers. I'm not sure if they're running. I know last week at Vegas we ran the baseline iRacing setup, which is a pretty good setup for Vegas. I'm not sure if they changed it around for this week, but you have what's called preload inside of these cars, especially in the rear, a little differential preload. And you can set that higher, and the higher you set it, it kind of helps the car when you get on the throttle come out of the corner a little bit easier. But the thing is, when it's set too high or it's set to the wrong place, and plus your track bar might not be in the softest position or stiff position, because you have a front and a back one that you can set, it will cause this car to do what's called the snap loose effect, which is exactly what you just saw there. Cars handle pretty well and they just snap. You see it a lot more at these bigger 1.5-mile tracks like Atlanta's and Charlotte. Probably not new Atlanta, but the older Atlanta and Charlotte. Texas is a big one for that. The car just, it feels good coming out, and all of a sudden it just snaps out of nowhere. And it's a terrible feeling, I'm telling you.
Pace car is off. We are green flag racing again. Huge jump out of Jamie Horn. As we come back to that restart, Jamie Horn starting first, Jacob Hutnick in second, James Fox the second and third, Aiden Wilson 4, and Tyler Justice 5.
Yeah, look at the racing going on back here now. I see Craig Bontrager on the bottom side there trying to hold it down. Got his teammate above him and in front of him.
Yeah, now these guys are bunched back up, so you're going to start to see the racing get a little bit more hectic. See the 4 car. Believe that one is going to be Christopher McCullough. Looking like he's maybe dealing with a little bit of damage. Car's looking a little slow. Oh, and they're locking him up on the low side.
That's the 59er Ryan Moyer that spun around. He's going to be able to get it straight.
Oh, and they're 3 wide, the 88 and the 23. Chris Otto did take the EOL penalty for that last caution. Also, every time we pull up Chris Otto, I'm pretty sure you get to see the most professional looking iRacing profile picture ever made.
I mean, that's got to be his LinkedIn photo. You think? Like, it's got to be.
If it's not, it's an actual mistake.
It almost looks like a Hollywood flyer thing, like you're trying to get a spot on the Avengers or something.
Look like he's trying to be on the next season of Outer Banks. Jamie Horn again worked his way out to a really healthy lead here, up to 1.4, now 1.6 seconds on Jacob Hutnick. Get James Fox and Aiden Wilson behind him. Cody Bullock now up 4 spots into the 5th position.
Yeah, Cody's ready to run. James Fox, second here, up 5 spots tonight as well. Our biggest mover so far is none other than Craig Bontrager. I'm not going to say anything past that because I jinxed him last week, but he is up 8 spots, and that is all I will say.
Good on him for being up 8 spots.
First rule about the no-hitters, you don't talk about the no-hitter.
Exactly. I see the 8 car get a little bit loose there. The 8 is Cody Bullock, and he's there fighting with Aiden Wilson, trying to get around. Aiden Wilson's trying to ride that high side. We talked about early in the race. It's really tough to run that consistently.
Yeah, there's just not a lot of speed up there. You've got to be really on top of it, and the car below you's got to be really off of it for that to work.
And Cody's able to work his way around there. Now the 7 car, Jake Euler, has the low side. Looks like they're just trying to, we talked about it again at the beginning of the race, you can kind of make that parade around the person that got stuck on the high side. If I'm Aiden Wilson, I'm trying everything I can think of to try to get back down to that low line.
Yeah, and if you're up top like that, there's only like 2 things you can really do. One is just check up, fall in line. The second one is try to get a good run coming on the high side and cross over coming out of the corner. It looked like Aiden tried to flash that move for a second, but good on Jake Euler to get out of that turn really fast and push his way ahead, protect that low side.
Now we're seeing some real speed coming out of the 7 of Jake Euler. He's already up trying to challenge Cody Bullock for that 4th position that he just got.
Going back here to Tyler Justice, had a very good run at Langley for our clash. Did not count for points, but I believe he did take the first heat of that race and ran into a little bit of trouble. But I mean, I think that's been kind of the whole story for these RER guys this whole year. Is just bad luck.
It's been unfortunate to see. But we do, back behind Aiden Wilson, you do have Craig Bontrager, and we just talked about it. Currently up 8 spots right now into the 7th position, and Greg McConey, one of the first drivers to deal with a little bit of damage in this race, worked his way back up to 8th position. He started 13th, but did end up going all the way back to the back of the longest line after that first spin.
I'm trying to see if Greg McConey's actually going to make this move here. I don't think he has him set up, and that's another thing coming to Martinsville too, is you can't just come into a corner, you know, like 2/10 off the driver in front of you and make a pass. You really have to set it up probably a turn or 2 in advance and know your spot, know what you're going to do, time up where their break point's at, and try to get under them somehow. That is without moving, I should say, but I would resort to moving a car until the last few laps if you have to. Yeah. We never endorse that.
Yeah, especially here at Martinsville. If you try to bump somebody out of the way, it's liable to cause a 4-car pileup behind you.
Yeah, and it's too early for all that. Greg's pretty fast. Looks like he's sizing him up right now.
And we talked about it, even though you might feel like you have all of the speed in the world, which it looks like Greg has a ton of speed right now. If you're stuck behind somebody and they're doing a good job of blocking, there's nothing you can do. Greg's not going to be able to get over here, cut that middle lane and carry a run and get a pass. He has to get his nose down to be able to make that pass. One of the other drivers to kind of keep an eye on here is Frank Marchese. He was moving forward, was our biggest mover for a pretty good time there. Looks like he's been sliding back a little bit since the last restart. Now finds himself in 13th, still up 3 spots from where he started, but he is also 16 seconds behind the leader and is the next car to go a lap down, and he can see Jamie Horn in his rearview mirror.
Yeah, I'm looking at the right side of his car, and there is quite a bit of damage over there. I saw him get to the wall coming out of 4 just a second ago. Don't know if he's having some steering issues. Let's ride along with him with the cockpit and see what we can see here. I mean, it looks like his steering is just a little off kilter. Not by much, but I mean, it could be enough to cause some straight speed. He's losing some speed on the straights here.
Yeah, he also, and I was going to say, I saw the comment here as well, he was also one of the only ones, if not the only one, to come down pit road on that first caution. But it does look like he has something going on that's maybe causing some issues with the speed. We see Jamie Horn's coming up on him. and Jamie will probably get him this time by, actually.
Yeah, Frank was one of those guys last week that was really fast and then ran through that early caution. I think he did his fast repair pretty early last week and then got to another wreck later on. So maybe he's trying to save it, his fast repair, for later on this run.
Yeah, because you can see it looks like that right front's dented in a little bit. And there goes Jamie looking for the move there, and he is going to get it. That is going to make Frank Marchese your first car a lap down. Meaning now we have 5 people a lap down. Frank Marchese is going to be the first one a lap down in 13th position. Behind him, you'll have Jay Vaught, Chris Otto, Simon Grills, Kenneth McCullough Jr. Christopher McCullough is in 18th spot, 4 laps down. Yellow flag is out.
Oh, and just as pass was about to be made here, I don't think that was for position, but trying to see who we got. I believe that's Greg McConey. I see Jamie Horn. Looks like he's going to be going down pit road. Jacob Hutnick following right behind him. James Fox. Cody Bullock. Jake Euler's going to follow suit as well. I believe Aiden Wilson is staying out with this one.
This is, I don't believe there was any actual caution. I think this was just the stage caution, which is going to give those bonus points for the stage win to Jamie Horn.
I got a small notification that McConey crashed. I'm not sure if they called the caution on that or if it was just the stage. He did spin and get a little loose, but I mean, he was able to keep it pretty straight. You know, he did face the wall for a second, say hey to the fans, but he did straighten it back out.
Yeah, and the way that we're calling cautions, like, looks like we're really not trying to call them unless something really bad happens. I doubt that was what it was for. I would say that was probably just the stage end. But one of the things that we do want to mention as well, kind of based on the qualifying especially, Martinsville, the way they have their pit road set up, it is a huge benefit to be towards the front of the qualifying pack. Martinsville being so small, obviously, and the pit lane being there on the inside of the track, it feels like you have so much farther to go if you are one of the first pit stalls.
Yeah, you just get out of that pit stall and ride forever in pit road.
We've seen everybody move around you. But we are going to have a little bit of a shuffle here in the pack now that some of these drivers have brought it down to pit road. Like Aiden Wilson is going to be your new first place driver coming off of this end of stage here. Ryan Moyer is going to be second. Jacob Hutnick in third. Cody Bullock fourth. James Fox, the second, is going to be fifth. Your former leader, Jamie Horn, is going to be back in ninth now.
Yeah, I'm watching Chris McCullough up here on pit road. Doesn't look like he's taking tires, just in here to fix some damage. Along with his teammate, Kenneth McCullough, who did take 4 tires, I believe. He's going to exit pit road.
Looking like we are only going to have 3 cars a lap down. Looks like some of these guys might have tried to stay out to get their lap back. Simon Grills is going to be your first car a lap down. Chris Otto, and then Kenneth McCullough Jr. And we are lining them up to get this thing back going. Pace car is off. Lap 57 this time around. 1/4 of the way through this thing, who's going to bring it home? Aiden Wilson's going to take the green flag. Oh my God, huge check up on the low side. They're 3 wide in the middle of the pack.
Jamie Horn on the inside of Tyler Justice there, trying to get Bontrager.
I would venture to guess that there's probably 2 or 3 cars that got some damage.
Oh, Simon Grills is around. I believe that's Kenneth McCullough. And they just got to the side of J Vault as well. J Vault just got that lucky dog spot, get his lap back. And there's pieces flying all over the track right now.
Yeah, that one, the restart didn't start good. I don't know if we can come back to that restart and you can look at the high side. There was such a checkup there. I mean, there's probably 3 cars that got damaged off of that restart.
Let's see if we can go back to that restart here at the front. Yeah, big checkup going into the corner. I see McConey back there had to check up quite a bit to get into it. Let's check out this caution that happened here. Look at it, Simon Grills in that 13, Kenneth McCullough in that 03 car. Check up by McConey. Euler gets below him. And I think Grills came down just on top of Kenneth McCullough. See if we can ride along here with Kenneth McCullough. Yeah, McCullough looks like he tried to squeeze underneath when that caution came out, stay low out of the trouble. I don't think Simon Grills saw him down there. And then Grills gets into the side of J Vault trying to avoid the accident. But we are 60 laps in. That is only our 3rd caution.
Really not too bad considering the run of form here, how it's been here recently. I believe Greg McConey brought it down pit road. The 04 of Christopher McCullough is still on pit road trying to get that thing back going in the right direction. Jacob Hutnick is going to be taking your EOL penalty for that last caution. And so we are going to have a new race leader, and it's going to be Ryan Moyer. Going to have Aiden Wilson behind him, Cody Bullock, Jake Euler, and James Fox making up your top 5.
I don't... Oh, I see. That wasn't even where the caution was at, though. Where Hudnick was at, but, yeah, what I'm seeing here is a lot further back than Hutnick was. McConey actually looks like he got a little loose coming off of turn 4. Saved it pretty well. Euler goes low, and that's what caused Grills to try to dive low and McCullough to dive low and just get into each other.
Green flag racing again. Great jump by Ryan Moyer there. Heard Kenneth McCullough say over the radio that he was going to try to get back down pit road, so he's going to drop to the back and try to get that taken care of. Ryan Moyer, now your new race leader, got Aiden James Wilson right behind him. Cody Bullock there racing in 3rd place. Cody Bullock making a move and now in 3rd. Or 2nd, excuse me.
I just saw Aiden Wilson wash up the track just a little bit. I don't know if Jake Euler happened to get into the side of him just a bit. But Bontrager is now up 9 spots tonight, sitting in P6.
And oh, there's a huge checkup behind him.
Oh, that's Trush. That's around. He's going to get hit by Hutnick. Yellow flag is out.
Yeah, there was a checkup that caused that one. Somebody had to lock him up almost in the middle of the track, and then you just saw people scattering trying to get around it.
Yeah, it looks like Trush took it just a little bit too tough coming into the corner. Ended up saving it, but then the 77 of Jacob Hutnick got into the side of him as Brandon Trush tried to get it straight coming out of there and just happened to spin it, but it was a good save initially.
It was.
See if we can back it up just a little bit more.
Did want to give a huge shout out again to the turnout for these guys for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series has been tremendous. We got 22 people here in the stream. It was 24 just a second ago. So whoever the 2 that are left, come back. But we really appreciate it. These drivers really appreciate it. I know they all enjoy going back to watch these streams, and we really enjoy being up here broadcasting for you guys. So thank you, everyone that's out there. be sure that you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the uploads, especially the full coverage of the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series here this year. Leave a like and continue. I know our comment section is always blown up with you guys supporting your drivers out here, so keep that up. We love reading them. These guys love hearing them, so keep it up.
Yeah, and again, I don't want to say too much, but Craig Bontrager right now is your biggest mover of the night, up 9 spots, sitting in P6, and that is all I will say about that. Nothing against Bontrager, but everything for him. I happened to jinx him last week, almost immediately when I commented on how well he was doing, and that's about it. That's all I'm going to say. He's having a good run. We're not going to talk about the no-hitter.
Got Brian Gibbons in the comments saying we are all just here for the Italian Stallion.
Aren't we all?
The 84 of Frank referring to the 84 of Frank Marchese. Started 16th up to 10th place. Saw him slipping a little bit there at the end of the last run before that lap 50 stage, and well, he's fought his way back up a little bit. Gonna be restarting top 10 here.
Cody
Your
Bullock.
top 5 for this. Go ahead.
I was going to say Cody Bullock's moved his way up 7 spots on the outside now as well, starting P2.
Yeah, Cody's looked really fast. I've seen him moving forward up quite a bit, and he's been trying to run this race really smart too, so interested to see what he tries to do off of this restart. Ryan Moyer, Cody Bullock, Jake Euler, James Fox II, and Jamie Horn make up your top 5 at this restart.
Get a sky cam to
And
see. Oh,
there
there's
goes
a wreck.
Oh!
That's Bullock in the wall there.
It's the 8 and the 7, it looked like. Jamie Horn just snuck his way around that one.
I see. Yeah, Jake Euler. Bullock's going to get it straight there. Try to do a different view so we could see a good restart there, and it caught the wreck. But unfortunately, right on the restart. I don't know if somebody spun tires or what. We'll go back and take a look at it and see what happened there.
Nathan Fox in the comments saying go RER and Bontrager. Your boy's moving up. Again, don't want to talk about the no-hitter.
It looks like the 58 of James Fox II just got to the rear of Cody Bullock there. Put him around the restart. I mean, it's hard to get a good restart here. You don't want to spin tires. You don't want to crash it out before you get going. Cody with a little flare around there to get it back straight.
And we are officially going single file restart on this one. The admins decided that was going to be best to make sure that we didn't have repeated cautions like John was just saying. It is a little tough to do the restarts here at Martinsville, and we've seen pretty consistently, especially when these tires start getting a little heat on them. That's when it starts to happen. And I did just hear Cody Bullock come over the radio and say that that last caution was on him, said he missed a shift.
I thought you were about to say something else because you paused there for a second.
No. I mean, yes, I do anger translate for the radio, but there was no anger there. Brian Gibbons in the comments saying, big fan of that bird's eye view. Appreciate that. John actually does some of these camera angles custom, so we try to put some heart and soul into this thing, give you something a little bit different than maybe what you're used to.
Yeah, every week we do custom cameras. All the camera angles you'll see here tonight are all custom and made before the race starts. Hoping to get them on the website at some point so that people can pick them up if they want them for themselves. But right now, just kind of testing some things out, getting some camera angles here. We're single file. We will be displaying some more of these camera angles here in a second. About to go green.
Going green, single file restart. Ryan Moyer, James Fox II, Jamie Horn, Craig Bontrager, George Jewell make up your top 5. Did see some checking up there, and they are beating and banging, trying to get back in line. Huge push out of the 23 there. Brandon Trush all the way up to that bumper of the 84, Frank Marchese.
Oh, he's around. That's Ryan Moyer. Gets hit by Bontrager. Bontrager hit
88
again.
into the back. I mean, Chris Otto just got caught up in that.
Trying to see if we can
There's the Martinsville we know and love.
Yeah. I hate it for Bontrager. To be fair, it's not our fault. We haven't talked about it. James Fox here on the inside. Ryan Moyer. I can't tell if he spun or if that was just net code. It didn't look like there was a ton of contact there. Let's see if we can get a better view here.
And these guys do have a fast repair that they are able to use. It's just their decision on whether they want to use it. Fast repair meaning they can go down pit road in any time it would take to do a normal pit stop. They can get all of their damage repaired. They do only get one of those per race. So if you go and you use your fast repair for what would be a 2 or 3 minute damage repair if something bad happens, and you have to use it later in the race and you don't have it, that's when you can really have some big issues.
I think what's going to be the issue here for Bontrager is kind of what we talked about earlier. When you come around this corner, you can't really see past this A post, so you can't really see the wreck happening. He checked up in time. Oh, he had nowhere to go.
Jamie Horn and Frank Marchese both with really good dodges there.
I do want to go back to Chris Otto to see what he was seeing as well. Yeah, this is it right here. This is what we're talking about. We're riding along here with Chris Otto. I mean, in this view that we have right here, he's coming around turn 30. He cannot see anything that's happening to the left. The wreck has already happened, as you can kind of see on the left side of your screen here. But if we go back into the cockpit cam, come around this corner, you don't see much of anything. You're not really looking out for that. All hidden behind his A post until he gets about right here. Everybody's checking up. By then, he's already on the brakes. You can see his RPMs dropping. Yeah, Chris took a hard hit, but I didn't think it was enough to cause that much damage unless he has already used a fast repair.
Well, he was in that caution earlier, so I'd assume he already used it. But
yeah.
We are going to be restarting single file again, just as a hope to limit some of the cautions here going forward. You're going to have James Fox the second taking first place here. Jamie Horn in second, George Jewell in third. Good to see him back up there. Tyler Justice in fourth, and Frank Marchese in fifth, which I believe will make him tied for biggest mover with Brandon Trush in sixth.
That is correct, sir.
Green flag going again. Looking like everyone got into the throttle a little bit better there. Didn't see nearly as much checking up. James Fox got a great jump, but Jamie Horn has a rocket ship tonight.
He's going to try his hand on that inside. He's going to have a good run here coming out.
Jamie set that up so well. He was on the low side and sticking to it about 200 feet before James Fox came down. Jamie set that up perfectly.
Yeah, the problem is once you pass here too is that you're on that low side. You're going to enter the corner lower, so you're going to have a slower run coming into the corner. The car is going to be a little bit tighter, so just because you can get your nose past a little bit, you still got to complete the pass, and that usually takes about 2 turns to do so here, unless you're just flying off the rip. But good on Jamie to get around him. Looking at Frank Marchese here, up 11 spots in P5, trying to make a pass here on not Brandon Trush, but Tyler Justice here in a second. Looking at the comments here, not saying you jinx Bontrager again, but yeah, I mean, I'm getting to a point where I don't want to talk about Bontrager anymore, but I also like to get around to everybody that's driving.
Dylan Wilkie out here cheering for the 23 car of Brandon Trush, up 11 spots in the 6th position. Got Forge Val still cheering for the Italian Stallion of Frank Marchese, and then Shasta Jewell saying, let's go 36, 33, and 35. 36 and 33, George Jewell and Tyler Justice, 3rd and 4th position right now. Yeah, 35 of Bontrager was just involved in that last caution, but looking like he's trying to fight his way back up, looking like he's still got some speed.
And Marchese's going to make a pass right here around Tyler Justice. He's going to get that 4th place spot. Trush is going to follow suit. That's what you have to do here, man. Get a parade going, get everybody going that low side to pass somebody. And oh, Tyler Justice is going to go around here off the corner
it's
of
gonna
Trush.
stack up behind him.
Everybody looks like they avoided it for the most part. I can't see in front of them, but yeah, it looks like we all avoided that one. I saw Trush coming in hot just a little bit before that, trying to get on the inside. But I mean, Frank Marchese making some moves here, up 12 spots. The Italian Stallion, we talked to him earlier. He said he has some tricks up his sleeve. He's putting them on display here tonight. Got the fan club rallying behind him. I mean, why not us, right?
Why not us? And we are going to be... I want to see a restart here, or a replay of that caution. Want to see exactly what happened there.
It looks like Tyler Justice came down a little bit. I mean, this is just purely racing incident here. I think it's just... There's different break points. There's also different entry points. I mean, Trush was going down as well. I think Tyler Justice may have thought that he was going down just a little bit more for him, but unfortunately not. That's going to get Justice around. Looks like he kept the car pretty clean, though. Oh, until Aiden Wilson got into the front bumper of him. Other than that,
Oh, look.
everybody kind of missed it.
Yeah, that looked like a soft enough hit for Aiden Wilson. I don't really see like anything's gonna. I don't think that's gonna cause too much damage, but
I'm gonna hop in here with, I believe it was Cody Bullock that I was watching get through that. Let me know when the pace lights go off here.
and your restarting top 5 is going to be Jamie Horn, James Fox II, George Jewell, Frank Marchese, and Brandon Trush. Brandon Trush and Frank Marchese fighting for that biggest mover. Marchese moving up from 16th to 4th. Trush moving up from 17th to 5th.
I mean, James Fox, too. We haven't talked about him a ton tonight, but just having a run for himself here. I remember at Langley that he kind of ran into some trouble there, but definitely finding it here on this short track.
Yeah, and he's just been up front consistently, and that's the spot you want to be in, especially here at Martinsville. Keeps you out of all the trouble, keeps anything bad from happening, so good spot for him to be.
Throw up my keys one more time here. We talked about it earlier, his track position. I mean, that's what James Fox is doing, staying ahead of the wreck, staying out of trouble, keeping his nose clean. And really, we've seen him protect that inside very well. Jamie just had a really good move earlier to make that pass around him, but so far, doing very well protecting that inside. Somebody that's kind of using that strategy is our guy over here, the Italian Stallion, Frank Marchese, finding a way to get his nose down that inside and make some passes as he's up 12 spots.
And we are, again, doing the single file restart, but we are coming back to the green flag. Jamie Horn taking the green flag here. It's going to be 94 this time by. Only got 6 laps to go before we get to, oh, and big check up there. Only the 36 was maybe a little spin. Looked like the 23 and the 84 there might have got into each other just a little bit.
Yeah, we're seeing him go too wide back here in the back. Marchese's on the inside right now. With George
Trying to make
Jewell.
that move around.
Somebody spinning in the back. I believe that's McCullough Jr. No caution as of now. He's going to try to get that thing straight before they come back around.
5 laps to go before the end of the stage. Jamie Horn trying to win this second stage here.
Cutting back here to Ryan Moyer, trying to make a move on Cody Bullock on the inside. Not going to
Not
have
able
it
to get
here.
it done that time
He's
by.
going to have it here. He's going to have his inside.
You did a great job of setting that up. Set your look first time by. Actually make a move the second.
It looks like Aiden Wilson's going to try the same thing. Cody shuts that one off pretty quick.
Lap 97, 3 to go at the end of this stage. Is anyone going to have anything for Jamie Horn to finish this stage off? It is not looking like it. Jamie restarts so well and is holding his speed.
Somebody that might have something for him later on this race, though, is top 3 Frankie here.
Top 3 Frankie. I saw the comment.
I love it. I love the comments, man.
It's so good.
Makes our job easy.
It really does.
Oh,
and
that's
we appreciate
Hutnick.
it. Oh, and the yellow flag is out.
Hutnick's around. McConey gets into his front there.
And they are going to complete the stage under this caution, so they are going to bring it down pit road after we complete lap 100 here, which is going to make Jamie Horn your stage 2 winner here. Double bonus points for Jamie.
See if we can cut back to that accident there with Jacob Hutnick. I think I called him James Hutnick. My apologies. Yeah, just a little hot coming off. Cody gets into the side of him a bit. Wilson avoids him. McConey gets a piece. Let's see if we can ride along here with our friend from up north, Aiden Wilson. Good gracious, what a move, Aiden Wilson. I gotta see that again. That's some driving. You can kind of see him turn his wheel left a little bit and get to the gas, trying to spin that thing around him.
Excuse him, Lucius. He's about to do some driving.
Yeah, just a guy that understands his car and how it works. Good move on him.
It looks like pretty much all of these guys are going to be bringing it down pit road here. Got Forge Val in here saying Greg McConey is going through it tonight. A lot of getting caught up in stuff. We've seen a lot of that this season, man. I maybe seen like 2 or 3 cautions where I can like genuinely be like, yeah, that was completely avoidable, you know, that kind of thing. But Greg McConey's kind of going through it tonight, just getting caught up in a lot of the different little accidents. Normally it's
Never mind. Don't say it. But
Yeah,
I will
saw where he
say
is.
we have a new race leader. That's all I'm going to say about that one.
Normally it's the fella that you saw on your screen there just a second ago, but because we have a new race leader,
Yeah, that's enough, Craig. We're done.
we're going to leave it at that.
We're going to go with his teammate Tyler Justice right behind him, who's also moved up 8 spots tonight as well. Behind him, Kenneth McCullough Jr. has been in some trouble tonight. He has got his way back up to the front. I don't believe they pitted on that caution there, that stage break. Ryan Moyer, who's been super fast, is sitting P4 right now. He was your winner last week at Las Vegas. Aiden Wilson, we just saw him do some talented driving to get around that caution there and keep his car as clean as he can at Martinsville.
I'm be curious to see if those guys up front have been able to get all their damage fixed. I know they've had to come down pit road several times to try to get that whole thing fixed up. So we are going to see how they are able to fare. We have a new race leader. I see Brian Gibbons in there. Craig Bontrager is your new race leader here at Martinsville.
Yeah, we don't. He who shall not be named, or whatever that Harry Potter stuff is. Help me out. What's the Harry Potter thing?
Which part?
What do they call Voldemort?
Yeah, he who shall not be named.
There it is. That's our new nickname for that 35 Rogue Energy cars. He gets a good jump on this green flag.
Green flag racing. Oh, and big stack up behind him.
See Frank here trying to push his way back up to the front, following Jamie Horn. If I'm Frank, I'm following what Jamie's doing. That's generally my rule of thumb for racing myself.
We've got Brian Gibbons saying to say his name. We've got Nathan Fox saying woot woot. That's Bontrager's spotter.
Oh, that's Marchese. Just got ripped by Hutnick.
Oh, no.
Don't hit the barrels. Here's the hoping that Marchese has a fast repair. Green flag is still out. A little shocked by that one.
I actually heard the race controller come over and say that everyone's still moving. Get going.
I love it. As long as there's communication about what's going on, if somebody's letting them know, hey, there is a caution up here, there's somebody that spun around up here. Like I said, I love erring on the side of green flag than just a random yellow flag. Nothing kills a vibe more, especially at a rhythm track, than just having yellow flags left and right.
And Jay Euler in the comments saying, get it going, Euler. Rusty Rafferty saying those RER cars look really good out front. You've got one of them in first and one of them in third. And then Brian Gibbons saying no caution there is wild.
Yeah, as long as race control can kind of come over and say, like, why there's no caution, I'm kind of more okay with that. Maybe there probably should have been a caution there, but if these guys have an understanding of that and know that they're going to try to keep this thing green as long as possible.
Oh, and there's a big one.
I see Euler back here in the wall.
I saw the 04 of Christopher McCullough involved in that one. I think Frank Marchese might have been caught up in that original spin that we saw when we were talking about whether there was going to be a yellow or not. He is actually already down pit road.
Justice for Frankie. Let's try to get you back to Frank Marchese's wreck here. A little accident.
And then we'll take a look at that one that we just saw there.
I don't think you thought that Cody Bullock was going to come down. Had to check up a lot when you stab the brakes like that. Check up because of him coming down. He do happen to spin it and then just gets nailed by, I believe that was Hutnick that hit him. Let's try to ride along here with Marchese. So it looked like he had to get on the brakes pretty hard.
Yeah, that original first
Oh,
spin.
yeah.
That original first spin, I can see there not being a caution. After he got popped, that's maybe where I would have thrown it, but like I said, like we were just talking about, I do also understand they're moving, get going. Especially when you're, 108 laps into 200, you've already had like 8 cautions.
Euler gets loose, gets hit by Trush. Euler tries to get it back straight and comes down. Christopher McCullough causing that second one there that did throw the yellow flag. Oh, no. Those are one of the worst types of wrecks, man. It's like you think you're clear of it, and then all of a sudden it's just, yeah, out of nowhere. Go back to Christopher McCullough again. Let's ride along with him. He's coming in hot, trying to make up some spots. I don't think he's going to be able to see most of this caution behind Trush. Avoids it pretty well, and then bang. Smacked. It did keep his car straight there, though, but he's going to have some damage. Probably lose some straight speed.
And it looks like we are getting ready to go green. Looks like they are. I think they had a little bit of trouble with pit road here. Heard race control and Greg McConey kind of Jamie Horn and James Fox II.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if Brandon Trush has any damage to his car. I know he took a little bit of damage from the back there. Euler looks like he's going to hit pit road this time around.
I think they're just having a little bit of trouble with pit road here. So we are trying to get that all squared away here.
Yeah. Lights are still on the pace car, so we're not going green this time around. Why don't you tell us about Sunbelt and what they're doing for us here?
Yeah, and while we are, like you said, while we're under this caution, again, huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals. Sunbelt Rentals is our series sponsor for this year. If you have any sort of construction needs for equipment, whether that be residential, industrial, commercial, I myself have been in the construction industry for about the last 4 years. Sunbelt Rentals do a great job. They're professional. They understand what's going on, and they will help you with whatever you need. So if you have anything need for any sort of construction equipment, make sure that you check out Sunbelt Rentals. They will do a great job and make sure that you are taken care of. We got 27 people in the chat here right now. Thank you all very, very much for being here. We are on lap 108 here at Martinsville. Who is going to be the one to bring home the checkered flag? As it looks like we are going double file restart here this time.
And somebody I'm watching here too on this outside row, Jamie Horn, been up at the front a lot. Got a fast car, knows how to get around this track. I think he might be up at the front sooner or later again.
But we are going to be restarting. Craig Bontrager 1, Ryan Moyer 2, Tyler Justice 3, Jamie Horn 4, and Aiden Wilson 5. Is it just me, or does that 33 car there of Tyler Justice have a big ding in the front?
I believe he has that from earlier. He got spun around, and I think him and another car just kind of tapped each other in the nose. I believe that was Aiden Wilson. Yeah, you can see the damage on Aiden Wilson's car and that 60 car there as well.
But pace car is off. We are about to get restarted here. Craig Bontrager taking the green flag. Great jump by him. 04 car there all the way to the bottom of the track. That's Christopher McCullough 2 laps down, looking like he was just trying to let the crowd go by. Look at Jamie Horn go. What a move to set up the 33 there.
He's trying to set up Moyer.
The 58 was coming. The 58 came in way too hot there. Just going to shuffle him back a couple positions. He had to lock him up hard.
And now Tyler Justice, look, he's trying to make a move. Didn't quite have it on the inside for Horn. Bontrager to the top. Aiden Wilson
the
the wall.
Gets into the wall there. Yeah, it looked like Bontrager got stuck a little bit up there on the high side. That's what let Moyer get around him. And Jamie Horn as well. Now Jamie Horn's trying to chase down Ryan Moyer.
And Aiden Wilson's fell back a lot. Just saw him in the wall again coming out of turn 2 there. He's still drifting up to that high side. I think
Rusty Rafferty in the comments saying, I don't envy race control at this place, whatever they do. They've done a good job. Yeah, shout out to whoever's race controlling this. I believe his name's Joe. Yeah, that is a thankless job here. You know, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but either way, especially at Martinsville, which, as we've seen, can be kind of a, a dumpster on fire at some points. It's a thankless job to be the race control here.
Yeah, we have been approached on a couple occasions asking if we will do race control, and the answer is always a firm no.
No.
Absolutely not. We will not.
No.
You can't please everyone.
Absolutely not.
Yeah, you can't please everyone. As race control, you're going to please no one. So, definitely not a job I want.
Yeah, I like being an announcer. I like being up here. I like talking to you guys in the chat. I like calling the cool stuff on the track. I like the strategy. I like seeing it all play out. Like we see Jamie Horn right here moving to the bottom side. Looking like he might be able to get this next time by.
He's setting them up here.
Yeah, it looks like Moyer got into the wall a little bit there. Yeah, but that's exactly how I would want to use my Monday night. Have everyone and their mother be mad at me.
Yeah.
And not race. Yeah, it sounds like a great time to me. Joe Hutchings, your house got a little bigger in heaven tonight.
Jamie Horn is going to be your new race leader, getting around Ryan Moyer. Jamie knows this track well. He was just here a few weeks ago in a separate league that we also broadcast, and did pretty good. I don't actually think he came in the top 3 there. I think he had some issues.
He was 7th, I think.
Yeah, had some issues midway the race. Pit strategy got to him, but lots of cautions there. And tonight, I think we only have, like 6 maybe? 7?
I think we're up to 7 now. Looking like the front is starting to kind of clear out just a little bit. Ryan Moyer holding a good pace with Jamie Horn here. Still less than half a second behind. Craig Bontrager going to be in 3rd place. My God. 04 is around, trying to get around him. The 35's in the middle of the track. It looks like the 84 there also got into it. Get a replay there and see what happened.
Yeah, we're on Bontrager right now. Looks like he got a little bit of that curve, upset the car. Everybody did a pretty good job avoiding him. He thought he was in the clear. I don't think Marchese saw him coming out of that corner. Just got him right in the nose. I'm not sure if he still has a fast repair or not.
I actually heard him call over the radio and say that he didn't see him at all.
Yeah, we're going to try to hop on board here with Marchese. I would like to see his cockpit cam here, because I think this is going to be another one of those Martinsville issues where you can't see past that A-post.
Yeah. But unfortunate for Bontrager there, too. You talked about it at the beginning of the race. You catch that bottom lip with your back tire, it's going to dump you.
No. Frank could not see him at all, man, until, like, it was just a second.
Rusty Rafferty in the comments and Logan Bontrager. No RFP Craig and 3 straight unlucky dogs for Craig. I'm buying Craig Bontrager a bunny foot for Christmas. I swear to God.
Frank's coming around this corner, hidden by the A-post. So he kind of sees the accident there, but everybody's checking up. It looks like Christopher McCullough is checking up in front of him by the time Christopher gets around him, around Bontrager. I mean, there's nothing Frank can do there.
There is not. Craig is also going to get the EOL penalty for that accident. EOL doesn't necessarily, it's not an acknowledgement of fault necessarily. It's just would there have been a wreck if you hadn't done what you did, essentially, especially if it involves other drivers. And I think there it's pretty easy to say that wouldn't have happened if his car had not gone around. So not necessarily saying it's this huge big fault thing or whatever. It's just these guys showing respect to each other. And also, we have hit a new concurrent viewer high for the Knapp Daddy Racing channel for the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. We have 32 people in here right now. Thank you all so much.
As soon as you say it, people will leave, man. It happens every time.
Yeah, I don't know why.
We are like the worst when it comes to like calling something in luck. If we ever talk about something, the opposite is going to happen.
And I am a pretty big believer in luck as well. There is video evidence of when the Braves won the World Series of me walking around my house with my Braves hat and saging the whole thing.
We burnt,
Do I really?
Yeah, we burnt sage at my sister-in-law's wedding for that Braves World Series with a shirt on the table, almost as if it was a shrine or sacrifice. Not proud of that moment in my life, but I would like to say that the Braves won that because of me. So
Not proud of that moment, but I did it. And we are going to be restarting pace cars off. Jamie Horn, Ryan Moyer, Tyler Justice, Jacob Hutnick, James Fox II. Green flag racing. Big jump again by Jamie Horn. Ryan Moore cuts it outside, trying to get back in and close down that inside lane on Tyler Justice, and he does. Oh, and these guys are... Look at that.
McConey just got washed up to the top there. I think he got into somebody or somebody got into him. Brandon Trush making a hard run on the inside.
Yeah, they were all having to lock it up as they went into that corner. I saw the 58 of James Fox again. They're making a huge push. Then he had to slow down, as well as the 77 there of Jacob Hutnick. He was coming in really, really hot.
Cody Blues.
Forge Val in the comments saying, please burn sage for the 2025 Bravos. We need it. I don't know what we need, but we are a couple of Braves fans over here, and I don't know if we need sage or, like, the paramedics. Somebody call 911.
Oh, my gosh. There you go. Cody Bullitt locking him up, trying to get in there on that inside. Everybody's locking him up.
He's going to get shuffled. I would say he's actually going to get shuffled up to the top here. The 03 trying to get his nose down there. Wasn't able to quite get that nose in. McConey looking like he's trying to make a move there as well.
I will say, if you are a baseball follower, Braves fan, the Braves are looking better. Austin Riley with his 7-game hitting streak right now, just kind of tearing it up. Sean Murphy with 4 home runs in 6 games. You know, the boys are coming back around. We got Strider coming back. You know, we got Acuna coming back. They'll come around. I ain't lost faith yet. Somebody that also shouldn't lose faith tonight. It's our man, Craig Bontrager.
That was good. Well done.
You like that? That is what we call a segue in the business here.
That was some good stuff there. Greg McConey there getting around the 03.
That's Tyler Justice. Tyler Justice.
McConey gets around. McCullough gets around. Forge Val in the comments. The 2025 Braves need divine intervention. Yeah. I feel like I've probably been through a few deities at this point, just trying to figure out what's been going on.
I have faith. I have hope. I'm not worried. Everything's fine.
I feel like McConey is going to go ahead and bring it down pit road this time by as well.
See if we can get you back to that caution over there.
It looked like he avoided that caution, though.
I think he got... Well, maybe I'm thinking about another one, but I thought he got clipped just a hair there, but... So we flash back to Tyler Justice here, followed by James Fox II. Oh, just gets bumped into by James Fox. Hutnick gets into the back of him. Trush gets into the back of Fox. Everybody's bumping each other there. I think McConey did get around everybody.
And I will say here, too, compared to some other races we have broadcasted here at Martinsville, this is nothing. Most of these have been just absolute racing incidents. I've heard a couple people talk about it over the radio here. I'm overall pretty happy with how this race has been run and seeing how these guys are running it. I think it really hadn't been too bad. Rusty Rafferty in the comments, though, right off the back of what I was saying, talk about dumping a guy. You feel like he got dumped right there, John?
I think James Fox thought there was a hole there. And that hole happened to close up just a little bit faster than what he was thinking. Maybe he didn't think the hole was a little bigger than what he thought.
It's looking like he maybe just stayed in the gas a little bit too long.
Yeah, I mean, he saw a window of opportunity there and he tried to get it, but that window was half shut by the time he got there and caused him to catch a little bit of it.
Yeah, we did talk about that at the beginning of the race too. Kind of making those sneaky, sly moves and getting your nose down low is really how you make your passes here. We've seen Jamie Horn, our race leader, do that a couple times tonight very successfully. Get down there early, get in the gas early. As long as you can hold it, you look like a genius. If you can't, or if your car doesn't quite have enough speed, then that happens. And then you don't look like a genius.
Yeah, I mean, essentially you can divide up every corner of a oval into thirds. And you're really trying to, you don't want to make your pass really in that first third unless you're already in there, and that's called dive bombing somebody, which is just a big gentleman's thing you don't do.
Pace car is off though really quick.
Yeah, go ahead and call it off. Green flag racing.
Jamie Horn, green flag racing. Jamie Horn off to a great start. Ryan Moyer also did well behind him. James Fox looking to the low side of Jacob Hutnick immediately, and he's going to get it. Cody Bullock trying to parade around as well. Looked like Jacob might have gotten that door shut, but I think Cody might be able to hold it. He is. $50 to go this time by.
Going back here to George Jewell on the outside. Brandon Trush is going to try to make his way around him. It's like Jake Euler's trying to get around too. That high side just has no speed here.
Oh, and Hutnick gets washed all the way up to the top of the track.
Yeah, I just saw Bullock get into the wall just a little bit.
Yeah, I think Bullock might have touched Hutnick there. And they're stacked up at the bottom. McConey gets his nose in there.
That's Marchese again there. Not Bontrager again. Looks like after Euler got a little wash there that everybody kind of stacked behind him. I saw Marchese getting to him. Craig Bontrager hit Marchese after that.
Yeah, no caution for that one either. The race admin again saying everybody was able to get them rolling almost immediately, so we are staying green here. I believe that was Bontrager, Euler, and Chris McCullough that were all caught up in that one. I think Frank Marchese might have caught the back end of it as well.
Oh, that's Cody Bullock that almost got around. Good save on him. Yeah, I don't think Bontrager needs a rabbit's foot at this point. I think he needs like an edible arrangement and an apology letter.
Box of chocolates.
Yeah, is edible arrangement still around?
Yeah, they are.
Oh, yeah, somebody get his address. We'll set up a GoFundMe or something, and I'll send him something because
7 spun around on the backside.
looks like he's going to keep it straight. Dives down pit road. Jamie Horn just kind of taking off with it.
Yeah, Jamie's had a rocket ship here all night, man. He's been doing everything right. He's, like we talked about earlier, those little moves that you can make to try to set people up to get around. He hasn't been at the front this entire race. He's had to fight his way back. I think he was as far back as 8th at one point, and he just did everything right. I haven't seen him make a mistake one yet. And knock on wood, obviously, don't want to jinx him, but he's done a great job tonight. Ryan Moyer also ran a really great race tonight. Same thing for James Fox, just doing the right things, making sure you stay up front, stay out of trouble. And then you got Kenneth McCullough back there in 4th, who's had to fight through a lot of adversity tonight, and now he's back up there in the top 5. Same thing for Greg McConey. McConey's been involved in 3 or 4 different accidents tonight, and now he's up there in 7th and looking like he's about to make a move here as well.
Yeah,
looking like he's trying to get around the 60 of Aiden Wilson.
Want to look low on Aiden Wilson. This is kind of what I was talking about here. If you divide your corner into thirds, you don't ever want to start your pass on the third. If you enter that first third and you're under the person, that's okay. If you start your pass below that or before that, that's more that dive bomb kind of thing, and you won't make friends out there doing that. If you try to make your pass in the middle third, you got to make sure that window's open. And earlier we saw that window was closed very shut.
Yeah, McConey, you can tell, definitely has a lot of speed. He's trying to fight his way around Aiden Wilson here, but Wilson doing such a good job of getting back down to the bottom of the track. Closing the window just enough. You've seen McConey almost be able to get his nose in there about 2 or 3 different times these past couple times by. I think McConey's going to have to go back to the drawing board and try to rework his strategy.
Yeah, and what he can do here is kind of flash high. Kind of what he's doing right here.
Exactly
actually.
that, yep.
And then kind of cross over and try to get that inside run off. Try to get on this low side. He doesn't have the speed for it this time around. Oh, he does. He's going to get there, lock him up.
He had to lock him up, but if he can hold that, that's a great move.
Yeah, that's what we're just saying here. You try to start on that low side, flash the high side. I'm not a threat. I'm not going to pass you on the outside, and then cross over.
Yeah, that was a risky move, but man, it paid off. That was really, really well done by him.
Yeah, and it's Aiden Wilson. You're driving slower, too, because you don't want to arc your corner so much coming in because you're allowing him to get to that low side. So you're starting your turn just a little sooner, which is causing you to have a slower run around the corners, which is just causing more and more backup. So the faster he got around him there, the better off Greg McConey is going to be. It looks like he's starting to gain just a little bit on the people in front of him, which is Jacob Hutnick. Been in some trouble tonight, took the EOL earlier, now back up to P5.
And you got Nathan Fox in the comments saying, I'll get you his address, referring to Craig Bontrager needing an edible arrangement. You got Jonathan Jennings, number 91, one of our friends from the other league that we broadcast, saying, let's go, Jamie Horn. Jamie Horn out to almost a 2.5-second lead here on Ryan Moyer. And it's looking like he's got the number 35 of Craig Bontrager, who's currently in 12th in his sights.
Yeah, I mean, I know we haven't really talked about Jamie a ton tonight. He's just been out there kind of by himself doing his thing, but this is exactly where he wants to be. Kind of good track position, clean air. I mean, there's nobody around him that can cause any trouble. So he's keeping it clean, keeping it safe. Jamie excels at these tracks that are most would find difficult. I would say like a Richmond, a Martinsville. These tracks that are a little more difficult to get around. Jamie is very, very good at those. So I expect to see him winning a few races here this season if he continues like this.
Yeah, and like we were talking about earlier, he's just done everything right tonight. We talked about with Martinsville, keep your nose clean, stay near the front, don't get involved in the accidents. Jamie's done all of that perfectly. Like we talked about as well, he hasn't been in first all night. Yeah, he's won stage 1 and 2, but he's gotten shuffled back in pit road, had to fight his way back up. And normally when you get shuffled back into that 8th, 9th, 10th position here at Martinsville, that's when you find yourself in danger. Fought right through it, no problem. Got Shasta Jewel in the chat saying, let's go Tigers.
Can't relate.
They got a fun team.
I can't relate. They've got a fun team. That's the way to put it.
I'm trying to be nice.
I love the engagement. Got nothing against the Tigers.
Also, the Tigers is a stadium I haven't been to, so I still do want to go out there. I know we're, as Braves fans, going to try to hit up Truist again this year, as always. I think this is going to be our year for PNC as well.
Hopefully. Everybody's starting to get a little bit more spaced out here as we cut to our sky cam. Kind of see everybody around the track. Not a ton of battling going on. I do see Tyler Justice trying to make a run there. Looks like Cody Bullock as well.
And someone to keep your eye on, too, here, as I hear Kenneth McCullough come over the radio. Greg McConey restarted back in, I believe it was 8th place. He's up 4 spots. over the last couple laps, and looks like he is picking up a head of steam here. He's up to 4th place. Still 9 seconds behind your leader, Jamie Horn, but he is gaining time.
Yeah, I mean, even our second place guys, 3.5 seconds back, and it looks like Jamie's still kind of increasing that lead there with 25 laps to go here.
Yeah, it's been somewhere between 3.1 and 3.5 seconds over these past couple laps. I mean, he's really just continuing to build it out. You got James Fox in 3rd place, 6.3 seconds back. Greg McConey about 9.6. You go back to our 10th and 11th place drivers. Brandon Trush in 8th is 14 seconds back. George Jewell in 11th place is 16 seconds back. Yeah. Which means essentially that Jamie Horn's right on his tail.
You just saw Chris Picola look like he was going to make a move there on Tyler Justice. That is not a pass for position here. The 04 on the 33. Chris is a lap down, I believe, 2 laps down. But he is trying to catch up with Jake Euler. And right now, if a caution did come out, Bontrager would be your lucky dog. Somebody go ahead and knock on wood for me there.
Yeah, but George Jewell has got to fight his way through here.
Yeah, I think
as well. He's got Jamie Horn right on his tail.
Yeah, he's about to get past here.
Got Forge Val in the comments saying I miss Turner Field. Sometimes got an Andrew Jones autograph as a kid there. Back in the day during batting practice, I am unbelievably jealous. Something to think about here with Jamie Horn. Like, yeah, you do have quite a lead built up here. It's 7.5 seconds on your second place driver, James Fox. But he is coming directly into an absolute bunch of cars here.
Yeah, while we're here, I just saw Ryan Moyer got into a little bit of an incident there. It's going to set him back to 4th place. Try to flash back to that really quick and just see what happened.
Oh, and he's still loose.
Yeah, he got a little loose coming into turn 1 there. No caution, able to get it back straight. Everybody avoids him, it looks like. That's going to put James Fox in 2nd place, fighting for a podium here. And Greg McConey, who's had some bad luck tonight, also in 3rd place, trying to get that podium. He's up 10 spots. He's going to be your biggest mover right now.
He is going to be your biggest mover, I believe. Yep, that's correct. He's your biggest mover right now. Had to fight his way through a ton of adversity to get up there.
Somebody else has been moving up a lot tonight is Brandon Trush, trying to make a move on the inside of Wilson. Gets Wilson around. Wilson was able to save it at first, but not hold on to it. I think Trush actually tried to keep him straight, give him a little nose push there, but...
And that is going to bring out a caution here with 16 laps to go. Hate to see that for our Canadian friend Aiden Wilson there, but looks like your race leader is still going to be Jamie Horn here. But now it's gotten a lot more interesting. You had a 7.5 second lead there. You're starting to come up on a big pack of lap cars. Assuming you were able to get around them, the race was over. And it was probably over anyway.
I believe, yep. Bontrager's going to get the lucky dog here, put him back on the lead lap. Our unlucky lucky dog of the night.
And your restart is going to be Jamie Horn, James Fox, Greg McConey, Tyler Justice, and Ryan Moyer. Ryan Moyer been fast all night, so I'm getting into a little bit of trouble right there, but looks like he might have been able to get that sorted out. And then James Fox been right up there near the front pretty much all night long. And Greg McConey had to fight his way through a ton of trouble.
Here's something for you. Jamie Horn did not pit on that caution, but Ryan Moyer did.
Ooh.
Try to pull up the pit stop laps for you. You can see that Horn last pitted on lap 101. James Fox the same on lap 101. McConey and Justice 144, 144 apiece.
So they have 43 lap newer tires.
Yes. I'm trusting your math there.
Normally, I would say that's, if I'm Jamie Horner or James Fox, normally I'm going to say that's terrifying. And from the speed that Greg McConey showed the past few laps, it still might be, but when you're Jamie Horn and you just had a 7.5 second lead, I don't know how scared I can really be.
Yeah, and I mean, there's not a lot of time for Moyer to get through all this pack either. I think if you're going to watch for somebody, it's going to be Ryan Moyer, James Fox, Greg McConey. Tyler Justice has been very fast. I know he has some damage earlier that looks like it's repaired now. Has a good shot at it, but this is what we talked about. You get your car to the end, you do have a shot. You're here to win it.
Yep.
If I'm Jamie Horn, I feel pretty good. I feel very good about how my car's been going all night. Think about these tires. You were just leaving McConey and Justice off those old tires, but now you got Ryan Moyer, Kenneth McCullough, and James Hutnick, Cody Bullock, Jacob Hutnick, I'm sorry, and Cody Bullock. That's all pitted on that. Took tires.
And this is going to be a super interesting restart. You got your top two, bottom and high side, on older tires. Your next two, Greg McConey and Tyler Justice, on 40 lap plus newer tires. Let's see how they restart. 10 to go this time by Jamie Horn taking the green flag.
What a jump. What a jump.
Great job by Jamie. If I'm Jamie Horn, that's exactly what I wanted to do. I wanted to get a big jump on these guys.
Somebody
And
spinning
they're
back
wrecking
here.
behind him, 33.
Tyler Justice, Cody Bullock around.
That's a big one.
That's Frank Marchese, the Italian stallion right there. And then Kenneth McCullough also caught up. That's going to bring out our lucky 13 caution. I believe that's Chris McCullough there that's around.
And they were trying to throw that caution a little earlier. Heard our race controller come over the radio and say under no uncertain terms that he wanted to throw that one a little bit quicker. This is going to bring several of our drivers down pit road there, it looks like.
Oh.
It's like Aiden Wilson. Looks like Jake Euler has to bring it down. Looks like Aiden Wilson has to bring it down.
Cody Bullock catching that bad luck there, getting hit from behind, and get hits again by George Jewell. We'll go back one more time. Let's try to get this from Kenneth McCullough's view. I don't know if he got loose or if he just got into somebody. Trying to move Tyler Justice here just a little bit. Okay.
That sounds like an okay if you just figured something out.
Yeah, it looks like Jacob Hutnick came up just a little bit. And McCullough caught just the back end of his quarter panel there. Got him a little loose and spun him around. Cody Bullock had nowhere to go after that, and then gets hit from behind. Don't really know what happened to Chris McCullough here, though. Oh, just locks it up there. Hits the wall. Well, now that just got a lot more interesting because as we pull up our pit stop laps here, Jamie Horn's been out there since lap 101, and Moyer just came in about 6 laps ago. I mean, this
I
is
heard
setting
the
up.
race controller just come over the radio and say, "You guys are still doing better than the last race I race controlled at for Martinsville. That race went 3.5 hours, which pretty much also describes the last time me and John broadcasted a race at Martinsville."
Yeah, they're doing a fantastic job here, and it helps that they're kind of spreading out. They were very patient at the beginning of the race. Now it's starting to get a little bit more antsy. Wondering how antsy they're going to get up here near the front around Jamie Horn. But I know Jamie's calm, cool, and collected up there in the front, taking that inside row. Pace car is coming off the track now as they come around this corner.
Going to be 3 to go this time by Jamie Horn on older tires, Ryan Moyer on newer tires. Who's going to be able to get it done? Greg McConey looking fast. Big jump out of Jamie Horn. That's exactly what he needed.
He's got to protect that inside line there, though.
The question is just if he's going to be able to hold it on those older tires.
Oh, and
Ryan
Moyer goes
Moyer
around.
spins. Lost it.
Cautionist came out. Jamie Horn taking a huge sigh of relief there.
I don't think that Moyer thought that Jamie would be able to have the tires to hold it. Jamie got immediately down there to that low side, held it so well. And I think Moyer thought that he was going to not be able to hold it going around and was waiting for it. And he maybe just waited a second too long.
It looked like he was trying to set him up for a crossover there as well, starting on that high side just a little bit more. I see Brandon Trush gets into him, and then we have some more action happening a little bit further back. I can't tell what car that is, if that was Hutnick or not.
Great job by the back of that pack getting around it as well.
That is Jacob Hutnick that did get spun around there. And then Moyer trying to get it back straight, almost runs into him. Good job checking up by him.
Got Forge Val in the comments saying Moyer overdrove it. Unfortunate. McConey could win it. McConey could win it. McConey is on about 40 lap newer tires than Jamie Horn here. I think we're going to be green-white checker in this thing. It's just going to be able to see if Greg McConey, Jamie Horn gets such good restarts. You've seen him do it time and time again. He needs to do it one more time and then just see if he can hold off McConey, who has just been absolutely on a run. Logan Bontrager in the comments. The racing gods were watching over 35 tonight. As we see the 35 back up in a good position. That's all I'll say about that.
Yeah, I've been watching his progress coming up, but I didn't want to say anything about it. Again, nothing against the 35, the man whose name I will not say, but everything for him. I have jinxed him twice. Not doing
Pace
that
car
again.
is off. One more time. Who's going to bring it home? Jamie Horn's going to take the green flag. They are bunched up like crazy. Jamie Horn again there with a great restart and a great block there as well.
Yeah, I see Trush going to the bottom side there. McConey not able to quite catch him right here. Hutnick's going to try to put a move on him. They're 3 wide behind, though.
And there's cars spinning every which direction.
Cody Bullets saves it back there. Jamie Horn bringing us back stretch.
This one green.
Yeah, keep it green, baby. Jamie Horn coming around for the final time. Going to take this checkered flag. Second start in the Sunbelt Rentals Series. First win here. Dominant all night.
Great run by Jamie Horn there.
We can say it now. Bontrager did come in 6th place, up 9 spots. Kind of found his stride there at the end. The luck played out. 2nd place, Greg McConey making a drive to the finish there.
He did.
3rd, we had Jacob Hutnick. I'm going to call him James 100 times. I will apologize to him in our interviews. But for now, the floor is Jamie Horn's. Burn it down.
Burn it down, baby. I would say, again, huge job by Greg McConey fighting through all of that adversity he had tonight to get himself back up towards the front, but absolute class out of Jamie Horn tonight. Just put on a show on old tires there at the win and was able to outrun Greg McConey, who had a full head of steam to get back up there. Huge shout out to him.
That looks like it's going to do it here for Martinsville. I believe we ended up with 14 cautions, if I'm correct.
14 cautions. So comparing that to last time we ran at Martinsville, I think we're down about 13. So pretty great job there.
Yeah, super impressed. Everybody held it together, did really well. P6 ain't bad considering. No, it is not. I wish I could have gave him more screen time, but I'm afraid he would have been up in that third deck of the grandstands if I did. Maybe next week we could talk about his name a little bit more and say it just a little bit. He did say that he's looking forward to Martinsville. It's hard to have a bounce back week, but the number 35 there, RER, I will say Bontrager did have a great run tonight. Ran into a little bit of bad luck there. Seemed like it was back to back, but came out of it. He does it every week, man. Finds his stride, comes out of it, keeps his head up, pushes forward, you know. You got to respect it.
Got Oiler Sim Racing saying, good job, Horn, way to hold him off. Jamie did a great job. I think over the last 4 restarts, he was in first place, and he just absolute class out of him tonight to hold off pretty much everybody that was trying to run him down. Jeffrey Trush, and you guys are just all over this 35. Let's go, yeah. Trush.
You have to understand,
23.
I have jinxed this man 2 times in the past 2 races, and I feel like it's my fault, so I feel terrible for it, but I do have a lot of love for Brandon Trush out there driving that 23. Always love a good 23 car. I drive the 23 myself. You know, go Jordan, go Michael Harris. Got to respect the greats.
It is going to be your biggest mover winner tonight as well.
But while we're here and I try to chase down some of these podium finishers, why don't you tell us about our sponsors and we can read off the results here.
I reckon I can do that. Again, huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for being our Cup Series sponsor. They make it so that these guys can come out here, put on a show, get a little something for their time, and we're going to be up here in the booth talking to all of you wonderful people and shouting out this race. But Sunbelt Rentals is a one-stop shop for pretty much anything that you need for any sort of construction jobs you have, whether that's residential, commercial, industrial, whatever the case may be. I've worked in the construction industry for a couple of years now. They do a wonderful job. They're professional. They know what they're talking about, and they are the place to go. They are everywhere. So if you need any sort of construction equipment for your next project, make sure that you get yourself down to a Sunbelt Rentals, and they will make sure that you stay taken care of. And then while we're here, going to give a little self-promo as well. Again, you are on the Knapp Daddy Racing YouTube channel, and please, if you haven't already, do like the stream, make sure that you subscribe, and don't miss any of the action that is going to be coming up either on any of our uploads or as your spot to watch the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series here this year. But myself and John make up Knapp Daddy Racing. It was originally just a iRacing design shop. We have now kind of expanded out to try to be your one-stop shop for anything you need for iRacing. So check out the website. It's knappdaddyracing.com, spelled just like it is on the YouTube channel. For all custom design, template, logo needs. There's some free content on there as well that you can just go pick up. So make sure you check that out if you're not into iRacing yourself. We'd really appreciate it if you go grab a t-shirt or a hat, help support the boys over here, help keep John's dogs fed. We really appreciate it. We are also on Instagram. We're on TikTok. Be sure you check us out over there. We try to be live on TikTok as much as we can. And we are just absolutely thrilled to be your broadcast partners for these guys here in the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series.
That was good. I'm trying to pull up some of our drivers here. First up, we have our third place finisher, gonna be I'm gonna say it right this time, Jacob Hutnick. Jacob, you got a copy with us?
I do.
Hey man, congratulations on coming in P3 tonight. Long race. You had
Thank
a
you.
little bit of trouble there in some parts, but you overcome a lot of adversity tonight. Seems like you were kind of behind a lot of accidents and just happened to run into them. Tell us about the race. What were you thinking going into that final stretch of that green-white checker there?
Oh, well, I was glad I could restart on the inside there to begin with, because, sometimes you get stuck on the outside and you just can't get down. But I didn't get a good jump on Greg, and he got down in front of me anyways.
Yeah, coming in here tonight, we were worried about that snap loose effect coming off a turn 4. Did you think the car kind of snapped a little bit coming out of that turn?
If if you took it a certain way, it definitely wanted to. But like if you wanted to diamond it down kind of and get back on the gas, that's when the back end would want to step out. But if you rolled the bottom there, I didn't really find it wanting to do that too much.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out exactly where we're going next week, and it looks like it's going to be Atlanta. This is going to be the new Atlanta, kind of more set up like a super speedway almost. What's your thoughts on that?
Survive, get to the end, and then see what you can do is pretty much the name of the game there. Get some stage points, hopefully, so I can have something to bank off of.
Absolutely. Well, before I let you go, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I'm just glad I made it through this week. And not particularly my style track, but
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, you survived to the end and was able to get that top 3 spot for a podium finish. Definitely going to give you some good points. Before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
just my teammates, Midpack Motorsports again. Ryan had a great race going until he spun out on the end there, but yeah, these guys are just a good group of guys.
Awesome, man. Well, we'll see you next week and good luck to you. Congrats on third place tonight.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too.
Have a good night, man.
You too.
That's going to be Jacob Hutnick, your third place finisher. I did call him Jacob there. Had some troubles with that tonight. Still learning some things here and trying to keep my head on straight. But coming up next, we have Greg McConey, going to be your second place finisher. Greg, you got a copy with us in the booth?
Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
What's going on, man? Congrats on tonight. You had a great car. I mean, you were in the back for quite a while and drove to the front. Tell us about your thought process from the back, driving all the way to the front.
I didn't want to be doing that. I didn't qualify great. I just felt slow. I couldn't get the car right in qualifying. Then I got spun on lap 3, got some damage, fixed that. Then we got going a while later in stage 2 on one of the restarts. I don't know if it was netcode or just what, but my tire spun, I caught it, and then the car just shot dead right into the wall. So that gave me like over 6 minutes of optional. So I just started pit farming that all through stage 2. Like first caution, stage 3, I think I went a lap down, just fixing damage, and then got caught up with another wreck, got some left front damage, and had to bite the bullet, take the fast repair with over 100 to go, and then or under 100 to go, and just tried to stay methodical, stay out of wrecks, because I knew if I could do that and we got a long run, I felt good. We got the tires at like 145, got that really long run, got my way all the way up front, and was content where I was. And then we got that yellow late. I was kind of kicking myself for not taking tires, but P3 was nice. And then just tried to stay smooth there and block the bottom line as much as I could.
Absolutely. We talked about that earlier tonight, how important it is to block that bottom line. Did you find it was kind of difficult driving in there if it was a little tight on older tires or a little bit more loose?
Yeah, the biggest thing is just as these tires wore, it started really locking the left front because you can't be turning the wheel on the brake in these cars, unlike all the other, Xfinity and truck and everything else where you can. These you can't because it just locks that left front. And so that was the worst part of just compensating for that during that long run, playing the brake bias. Rearwards really helped me. I know some guys were putting it forward and it was all your driving style. But yeah, I mean, just center off was tight. Just, it was tough all the way around.
Yep. So we're going to Atlanta next week, kind of more of a super speedway track. I believe it's the new Atlanta that's been paved. You prefer new Atlanta or old Atlanta?
Oh, I love old Atlanta.
Me too.
Get me back there where it's a driver's track. It's worn. It's all about tire wear. You get to play what line you want to have to change your car throughout the race. I love old Atlanta. New Atlanta at the super speedway style. It's fun. It's just such a tight track, man. It's remarkable how tight it is. Even though they widened it, it feels like they made it smaller.
Yeah, I'm with you there. New Atlanta is not really for me. I love the old Atlanta track. Just feels like it takes a little bit more input to get around that track and a little more fun for me at least. But before I let you go, any sponsors or shout outs you want to give?
I got to shout out Frank Marchese, my teammate here. We are part of Trash Panda Autosport. I made the cars that Frank and I ran tonight. Just a fun one with Rocky the Raccoon, our mascot on there, or Ricky Raccoon, I think it is. And then got to shout out my wife Sydney, the family that I know is watching. Boffman Excavating is one of my sponsors. I get on the truck now and then. Got to thank you guys, Sunbelt certainly for helping put on this league, and all the guys that helped make this league happen. So I'm happy. We're a nice P2 finish, and let's go see what happens at Atlanta.
Yes, sir. I love it. So we will see you there next week, and congratulations tonight.
Thank you. See you guys.
See you.
Take care.
That's Greg McConey, the 83 car, making a drive from the back. Really had a machine there at the end.
100%.
If anybody was a threat tonight to Jamie Horn, it was definitely him there on that last restart. I was a little worried about it myself. I think Jamie was probably a little worried about it too, but Jamie able to pull it off. And speaking of which, we have Jamie up here in the booth right now. Jamie, you got a copy with us?
Yes, sir, I do.
Jamie, congratulations on your first win here at the Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series. Second race, I think last week you had some internet issues. I know you're pretty good at Martinsville. What's kind of the general strategy coming into Martinsville if you had to give me some keys to the race?
I would say first qualifying up front is very helpful, and then just running as low as you can in the bottom of the turns, and it's easy to want to drift up and get a good kind of arc on the corner, dominate, but it puts so much heat in the tires that you just got to try to hug that bottom, and because there's not much tire wear really, and honestly, it's all about the heat in the tires. So that was just my main focus of the night, trying to stay up front. And I pit one time, and right after that first stage, and I was thinking I made a mistake, but it ended up working out. I actually made a rookie mistake in the pits and was too far to the left, and I didn't even realize it. I stopped the car, started drinking some Diet Coke, and I looked up and said too far to the left. I was, oh crap.
Yeah, that's a mistake I make quite often, actually. I mean, you've raced with me before, and that's what gets me like every single race. So, for sure there. But the last two restarts I wanted to talk about, I believe the second to last one, you had Ryan Moore behind you, had fresh tires on his car. You were probably, what did we calculate, about 40 to 50 laps on those tires? And then the next one, you had Greg McConey on the outside. What are your thoughts going into that? Were you driving out your rear view mirror a little bit?
I was, and I actually had 80 something laps on the tires, and I whenever I seen him coming, I was like, oh, this is gonna be bad, and was mirror driving and messed up getting into one of the corners and kind of got the rear end a little loose, and I knew I was gonna have to hug the bottom. He probably wouldn't been able to. He might could have got to my outside, but it'd been hard to pass me on the outside, so I was gonna try to hang to the bottom as much as I could, not overdrive it, and unfortunately, he had his little spin that happened. But before that, we had a good battle there for probably, I don't know, 10, 15 laps between the two of us. So it was fun racing with Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan, we were pretty fast one last week at Vegas. I looked at it here. You actually pitted on lap 101, and I believe that's when you took tires last. About 99 laps on those tires. Could you feel the wear there at the 99th lap?
Not really. I tried to manage them, and like I said, really there wasn't much wear, so it was just all about managing the heat in the tire. I mean, I could feel it a little but for the most part, it still felt good. And I just didn't need somebody with fresh tires behind me pressuring me because I was going to overdrive it at that point.
Well,
But
yeah.
go
Well,
ahead.
congratulations on the win tonight. One for two, I guess, in the Sunbelt Rentals. And I know last week you had some internet issues, so you were pretty fast there last week. So excited to see what you can do at Atlanta next week for the newer track. Before I let you go, anybody you want to thank or any sponsors?
So I'm gonna assume Sunbelt Rentals is a sponsor of the league, so want to thank them for being a sponsor. Any other sponsors of the league, they from helping run the league. I know they play a huge part of keeping the league going. So whoever all the sponsors are, thank you to them. I'll learn them before next week. Thank you to y'all for everything y'all do putting on the broadcast. Um, all the competitors out there. It was a fun race, good clean racing. And shout out to my mom. I'm sure she's watching, so shout out to her and look forward to next week.
Yes, sir. Well, congratulations again tonight on the win, and I can't wait to see you next week.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too.
Take care, Jamie.
You too.
That's going to be Jamie Horn, your first place finisher here tonight, picking up some good points with some stage wins and a win, probably the most laps led as well. Before we go here tonight, I do have one more guy I want to bring up to the booth. This is our man, the 23 car, Brandon Trush. Brandon, you got a copy with us?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Welcome, Brandon. You had a great run tonight, moving up 12 spots. You're going to be tonight's biggest mover, picking up those points as well.
Hey, we need those.
Yeah. Every point counts, man. I mean, you had a little bit of adversity tonight, but you were driving it in well and really getting around cars. Knew how to get around here. Is this a track that you practice a lot?
No, I absolutely hate this place. I wish it would burn to the ground and we never come back here again, to be honest with you guys. But no, I did hit it pretty hard during the week. I knew that I just completely suck at this track, so I was like, I don't want to go out there and ruin somebody else's race. I just need to get my stuff together, and tonight it seemed to work out a little bit.
Yeah, you kind of established yourself, especially from here. And I remember at Langley too, it's one of those more sneaky cars that kind of you're back a little bit, and then at the end, it's like you have this massive drive forward and able to move through the pack like it's nothing. So you're our biggest mover of the night. So go ahead.
Yeah, no, it feels good. It sucked, to be honest with you guys. Something happened with my internet during caution. I was running real well in practice. I was running good times. Something happened to the internet during it. I kind of slid out and the car went all wonky. I hit the wall, so I didn't get a quali lap in, and I was very upset with myself and my internet provider at the time. But I just knew if we could try to stay out of trouble and run through the cars, and I started noticing that I was going to have to bully people around to get up front, and unfortunately, that's what I was doing out there, and caught a penalty for it once or twice.
Yeah, but you found your way up to the front and picking up a P5 finish tonight, top 5 finish, and some good points there, especially with that biggest mover as well. We're going to Atlanta next week. I've had somebody here tell me that they hate the new Atlanta. I love the old Atlanta myself. What's your thoughts on the new versus old?
I'm partial to old because we just raced it for so long, 4i racing and the NASCAR games and all that. And it's kind of partial to me, but I run good at the new Atlanta and the kind of opens that I've done. So hopefully it's a friend to me next week. So I'm trying to be optimistic.
Absolutely. I think you'll have a good run there. I mean, you've had some great runs. I don't usually count Daytonas as good or bad runs because just anything could happen there. Just a toss up whether you get caught in a wreck or not get caught in a wreck. But the two tracks that are short tracks, you've had really good runs at. So I'm hoping to see you up here next week in a P3, P2, or P1 spot.
Yeah, that's the hope. This year started off bad, got wrecked out of Daytona. Last week got wrecked on the first lap, and my fast repair wasn't on, unfortunately. So 9 laps down, and they kind of pulled something out. So hopefully Atlanta next week we can do something with it, just progressively get better.
Yes, sir. Well, you do have a nice little fan club going here in the comment section, cheering for you. Is there anybody that you would like to thank or any sponsors you want to shout out?
Just the sponsors, Clem Speed Shop. He doesn't give me no money, but he buys me beer, so that's good enough for me. And my brother and the boys out there supporting every week, always watching the stream, so supporting you guys.
Yeah, we love a good refrigerator sponsor around here. Can't beat those.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Well, congratulations on 5th place tonight, moving up 12 spots from your starting position, and good luck to you next week in Atlanta.
Yep, we'll see you, boys.
Yes, sir. See you. That's going to be Brandon Trush finishing in P5 tonight, making his run up 12 spots total. Great run by him. Just give me your thoughts on the race, Hunter.
Man, it was fun. And I know it's Martinsville, right? So you're going to have a lot of frustrations. There's going to be a lot of cautions. Still, I think a good 10 cautions less than the last time we broadcasted at Martinsville, but it was a really fun race. Super fun to see Brandon Trush fight his way back up there. Same with Greg McConey, fight his way back up to second, but then just such a classy run out of Jamie Horn there. Fought his way back when he had to get back up there. I see him in that post-race interview trying to get that Diet Coke sponsor. I hope he gets it, but I see him there fighting for it. But just did exactly what you want to do at Martinsville, and obviously you see that paying off for him. Just sticking to the low side on old tires. Ran kind of a wild pit strategy, only pitting once for tires, but made sure he had enough gas there at the end. And when you do what you're supposed to do at Martinsville, that's what's going to get you thanking your mama at the end of the race, as we saw Jamie Horn doing there.
What a way to put it. But yeah, finish off the race. Let's get some race results up for you really quick here. Finishing P1, you have Jamie Horn. They're going to be your race winner tonight. P2 is going to be Greg McConey with that Trash Panda Auto Sports. Jacob Hutnick in the 77 Mid-Pack Motorsports P3. James Fox up there at the front a lot tonight. He's going to be finishing 4th. Brandon Trush is going to be your biggest mover up 12 spots. He is going to be your 5th place finisher. Craig Bontrager turning some of that luck around, going to be finishing in 6th. Kenneth McCullough Jr. Ran into a little bit of trouble tonight, but was able to bring it back and finish in P7. We have Tyler Justice in P8 and teammate George Jewell. Both, I believe, with that RER. I think it says Operation Valor here, but both of those guys' teammates. George Jewell had a really good run tonight. He's also really high up in the points right now. I'm hoping this doesn't affect them too much, but I know those guys are fast. They have a really cool paint scheme as well. Like I always say, we're a sucker for a good paint scheme, and that whole RER team has really, really nice paint schemes. Coming in P10 is Cody Bullock. 11th is going to be Aiden Wilson, who also has some trouble tonight, but he was pretty fast all night. He's been fast every single week. P12, Jake Euler had a good run here tonight for a little bit and also kind of got into some issues. I believe the damage on his car is what set him back just a little bit. P13, Ryan Moyer was in that 2nd place spot near the end, but it had that spin. It's going to drop him back. Christopher McCullough in 14th. Frank Marchese, the Italian Stallion. P15 was very fast all night as well. Was fast Vegas as well, and just, again, some bad luck kind of caught up with him. Coming in 16th, Chris Otto. He exited the race just a little early tonight with that hard hit to the nose. Simon Grills in P17. Jay Vault in 18th. And I believe Joe Hutchings is going to be our race control, who did not start this race.
That is correct. And again, a huge shout out to Joe as well. Being the race controller is a thankless job, and especially at Martinsville, it's even more of a thankless job. Did absolutely the best he could considering the circumstances. So huge shout out to him. Joe, your house in heaven got a little bigger tonight, buddy. Thank you for doing what you do. I wouldn't do it. But again, great race here at Martinsville. And a shout out massively to all of the viewers tonight. We broke concurrent viewer records tonight here on the Knapp Daddy Racing channel. So thanks to every single person who tuned in tonight. We appreciate it. The Sunbelt Rentals Cup Series guys appreciate it. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for liking. Thank you for subscribing. We really, really appreciate it, and I cannot say that enough. But again, huge shout out to Sunbelt Rentals for being the series sponsor. We wouldn't be here without it. The drivers wouldn't be here without it. They're a excellent company, and you should be sure to check them out for any sort of construction project that you've got going on. whether that be just something you wanted to get done around the house, or if you need a piece of equipment for an industrial project that you're working at, Sunbelt Rentals is the place to go. And again, little self-promo, Knapp Daddy Racing. Thank you all for liking and subscribing to the channel. We really appreciate it. If you want to see some more of what we do, be sure to check out the website, knapdaddyracing.com. Even if you're not into iRacing, you can buy a t-shirt, you can buy a hat. It really helps support the boys over here. But these Sunbelt Rentals guys make it easy for us to broadcast. You all in the comments make it easy for us to broadcast. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We will see you next week at Atlanta.
Yes, sir. For the last time, I have been John.
And I have been Hunter.
Take it easy, guys.
Take care.